Hello and welcome to the Survivor Series WarGames review. We are the Dudley Boys of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Hamflett Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened at Survivor Series WarGames. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett Sidgwick to review Survivor Series WarGames. Thoughts?
I thought it was all right. Like, I have no excitement or expectation around WarGames as a gimmick, really. So neither match surpassed my low expectations or fell horribly below them. I quite like to finish the main event, I suppose. Like, whelmed because, like, what a aesthetically beautiful show this was. Like, I could have, like, honestly, quite frankly, pull out those WarGames matches more and just show me the full baseball stadium and the sun going down and all that sort of stuff. Looked gorgeous. The Survivor Series of WarGames in general in the outside setting, fantastic. So I was in a great mood. One of the singles matches was really fun, so I had a nice time with that. Like, the other was total ace. So I haven't got much negative to say, but I haven't got much positive either.
Oh.
Yeah,
strap in for an hour and a half then.
Yeah, Tactical Penguin said as much. It was ass in the chat, as well as saying, because I teased before we went live on YouTube, are you ready? And Tactical Penguin wrote, making us wait like it's some good show. Willie, don't take the piss. And there's quite a few comments in the chat.
Don't take piss, mate.
I'm not a wheeler dealer, am I? I'm a podcast host.
Like Ian Andrews, who says, this show is awful on the whole. Looking forward to Sidge tearing it apart.
I mean, look, I don't know if I have the energy. This was, and I described it on X, so hopefully the mega fans will forgive me for repeating myself. Interminable slop. And I know what you're thinking, guys. Sidge, you think that about all WWE content? I think this was particularly boring and bereft of effort, imagination, quality, anything, even for them. I think two very long, incredibly WWE and all that entails matches did not help my mood. But oh my God, I was watching this like almost in disbelief at how nothing it was, considering historically it's a big 4 PLE. This is not insight. We said it in the build. We've been seeing it with a tone of dread for weeks and weeks and weeks upon realizing, oh, hang on, there's going to be 4 WarGame style matches across 1 month. I don't even like the AEW ones that much. I just thought elements of both over-delivered. Again, on really low expectations. But my God, this match type absolutely sucks. It absolutely sucks. And I think that genuinely, not much unites the AEW and WWE tribes, but I can't recall in my own bubble with my own curated social media timeline and is anyone fighting for this stip? Is anyone desperate to roll around? Here's the answer to that question. There's loads of them. Because AEW's biggest rating of the year annually on television, I'm fairly certain.
Like that house.
People love Blood and Guts. Yep. Maybe as a live spectacle, but also the TV ratings bear it out.
You're not putting a straight-up Survivor Series in a baseball stadium.
This is one of those.
You're not putting
there's a lot of idiots out there who will pay...
not 40-odd thousand of them. Like, 20,000 maybe in a nice big venue, but I think WarGames is... And maybe John Cena, actually, but, like, those two things combined as
this is one of those things where, I mean...
we're all together on this one, but people come out for it.
It's one of those, it's the most anecdotally dreaded things on the pro wrestling calendar, and yet hard facts and data completely disprove our negativity on this. So, yeah, people like and/or love these matches for some godforsaken reason. The entire format of it is awful. It is completely antiquated, I think, at this point. I was one of the many in 2015-16. Just give us anything that I used to like, please. Okay, Michael, you can have Greg the Hammer Valentine, Ivory, and Tatanka in a backstage segment and a Nostalgia Raw. No, give us something good that we like. All right, Michael, you can have WarGames. Yippee. Earnestly. Yippee. You got it. Oh, God, it kind of sucks. It's like there are few things that inspire within me existential dread more than a WWE match with tepid WWE action, cringeworthy WWE soliloquies, just a complete lack of anything that I like about pro wrestling. No intensity, no hatred, no true violence, no real craft. The threat, and it is a threat, the threat of watching Charlotte Flair and Asuka like 1 minute into starting a WarGames match with a collar and elbow tie-up and some pretty iffy work, knowing, oh, you know what? Guess what? Good news, Sidge. What's that? Oh, this is even more meaningless than usual because the match won't start officially for another, what, how long? 30 minutes?
Yeah. All the entrances.
Are you joking? It's everything that I hate. There was the actual action in these matches was either poorly worked or just wet, tepid, limp, bereft of impact. Like there was the amount of just wrestling, just wrestling moves happening in front of me, poorly delivered for the most part. Just knowing, none of this matters for 30 minutes. None of it. It was worse than usual because of that threat of strap in. What for? Just a really rubbish theme park ride. What's the problem?
A lap bar would have been fine. I don't require the shoulder straps for this.
Yes.
Absolutely no safety risk whatsoever.
What they should do.
Whoa!
Because honestly, I'll probably file somehow, some way, find a way of actually talking about these goddamn matches. If they insist upon doing. It's one of those back in Vince days. WWE should do this. No, they shouldn't because they're making money hand over foot and da-da-da. If they wanted to make it good and they wanted to eliminate this core problem, and it is kind of a problem, at least in terms of atmosphere and how these shows are received, if they even give a toss about any of those things. But they probably like this new Rumble-style countdown. Oh, my God, who could it be? Which of the 4 advertised names that we know are alternating, so it can only be 4? Is it going to be which of the 4 that I've got up? Because when you're watching the Rumble, it's like, it could be anyone. It could even be a boat. Tugboat. He's one of the few who hasn't tragically passed young. It could be anyone. It's the Rumble. Who's the returning star? Who could be the big main eventer? Who could be, the nostalgic face from yesteryear? Who could make a shock return? Who's jumped ship? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, it's Humberto. But the next one could be really good now. So let's keep those eyes peeled and those ears open. I get the Rumble. What they're doing it for this?
Well.
Because they want, sorry.
That's all right, an answer for you, but please carry on.
They want, let's call them easily pleased, undiscerning. They bought a ticket. They can do what they want. People to do 8, 7, 6. They hold your intelligence in complete contempt. At this show, man, it was interminable.
A direct answer to that question, because I won't do this throughout the whole thing. It's the monthly segment of Hamflett Ruins Analysis with an anecdote about his kids.
God, thanks, mate.
Yeah, because they like it. They don't love it anymore, though. The repeat combinations of people I can see.
They're growing up.
I know the difference.
Smartening up.
I know the difference, right?
And like their father.
Yep. I ain't never going to wee. But, which they could do with growing up. Let's just say I don't want to spoil a Christmas present, but they could do with growing up maybe after January because it's cost me an arm and a leg. The order of the teams was of great interest to Joshua, my youngest son, who was like looking at the graphics and thinking and he was asking me, do you think they might send in Bronson Reed next? Because he's a bit bigger and so on. So he was analysing it from like a tactical and a strategic point of view. So what I'm saying is WWE's for kids when they book like that. Just point about
you're right with the first
without the qualifier.
Four words.
Yeah. Like there is nothing, if you're a discerning viewer or people are, likely watching or listening to this podcast, there's nothing to get excited about because at some point if it's not next, like I got that little, didn't expect so-and-so to start. But after that, it is just, well, they're not here now, but they'll be here soon.
Yeah.
Like,
were you unhappy about the lack of shark cages?
I was fine with it. Like, a change is as good as the rest. Like, bring it back next year if you want. I was never...
Do you think, because I saw a theory online.
Yeah, when Lesnar's not in the match, he'll be back.
Yeah.
Or do you think they like the Rumble countdowns?
I just thought it was because there was no space. I thought it was like an admin
Or a
choice.
stadium, mate.
No, but like where they built the...
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm being facetious.
Like, you would normally get loads of criticism that because there would be absolute boring wankers. WWE WarGames. Well, like they've actually helped it because there was never one ever good one, and even that wasn't like. But the little shark cages were this big, like, how dare WWE make something slightly more polished and entertaining in a different way to the wrestling I watched in the late 80s. Like, and it was fine.
Late 80s, mate.
It was fine. So now they weren't there, and like. It had that like mini Royal Rumble thing.
Trying to appeal to your toyetic brain.
Yeah. I wasn't asked either way, really. I will say, I thought in the main event in particular, they tried to use it more. It almost didn't really matter in the women's match.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect the order of entrance, especially from the babyface team. And Punk comes out first, I'm like, didn't see that coming. So, like, and then I think Cody was very early
was
as
second,
well.
yeah.
So I thought, right, the fact that there is no cages has allowed that to be a little bit more unpredictable than it would be typically, because you would look at that cage and be like, right, how a big Jim? Get yourself out there, mate. Like there, and then you would have a little conflict.
There's a joint that needs stinking up.
I will say,
I have enjoyed in previous years, particularly with the face team last year, of like, I'll be going next, thanks very much, mate.
Yeah.
They didn't have that, obviously.
An element of that was missed a little bit. So just criticisms of the Royal Rumble, which I don't share, but I completely understand. I kind of...
Put Yannick in the arena compared to this.
I got it a bit more in this because I've sat on these podcasts countless times and said, right, if you are attacking WWE because they do a really good job with entrances, like pick a different attack line because it's like attacking AEW
Right, Sun Tzu.
for being too long. Like I'm not going to sit here anymore and criticize AEW pay-per-views being too long because what's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point of that?
I get it.
Tony Khan does that thing, like or ads.
Yeah.
Like
Let's make it get a snack. You like being super served so much. You'll 19 matches is too. I just go get a snack if you like content and stuff.
It's just their point. It's frustrating, but they are pointless things to have a go at because they're embedded in what the company likes. Triple H will not tweet videos about how he agented a match, but he'll show you because to him, when he could do nothing else, he could spit water really. So he gets the value of it. He really understands the value of it, and I actually share that take. I think entrances are really important. I think it's to counter slightly what Sidge was saying. I think people do really want to see as many stars as possible, even if they do nothing when they get in the ring. So they're paying for a ticket, they get that little moment, and it's like, that's good. Like that was one of the things I paid for.
Watch on the telly
to expect. Yeah, but it's better live.
Wrestling is better.
It's better live.
Usually when the wrestlers do things.
And increasingly, I think WWE are less asked about that, which could become a massive problem because even I've got my limits of like, come on, do something.
It's kind of deteriorating the quality of the work. It's like they're forgetting how to do things.
I would agree. And I think in the WarGames matches, it was notable because when nothing's going on in a scenario that has been created to always have something happening, like two cages, weapons, whatever, and then you can look at both rings. You watch them what the camera's doing, but you can also see stuff in the background and nothing's happening anywhere. That's sort of unacceptable, I think. They set this one up more around the big entrances and the arrivals, and I still think there was some fun stuff to come from that. I liked Kairi Sane's chain because it was green. I just like weird stuff. I like looking at WWE, but
I'm not personalised bin.
Fucking adored it. But I'm not gonna counter people that say the matches were crap because the matches were crap.
Yeah, the matches were crap. I've got one more thing to say, but it's completely pointless. I've got nothing to say about the body of these matches, and that's what we're here for. Sorry. WWE ain't ever going to listen ever. And I was about to say AEW do, so we might get a reprieve from this annual double cage hell. But if you look at so I was going to say AEW would be better off in terms of like reception to these matches or unifying people or whatever by borrowing the Forbidden Dow template and just having all 10 start and go crazy for 25, 30 minutes. This staggered interval stuff just doesn't make for a great match. But then not to be all Rajgiri, because I despise him. But, Tony will probably think, oh, well, Dave, give it 9.5 out of 10 available stars, even though there's 14 available stars, but you know what I mean. And also, in this really cynical TV business of retention, make sure to watch every ad, this staggered interval format just feeds that TV beast more than a better match would. So it's really quite sad. I would have just 5 on 5, do a little West Side Story thing at the start, and then
we didn't get either West Side.
0 out of 4 this year, which is remarkable.
That's good. Maybe they've finally listened to something.
I'll say this as well for the people, and I think that's probably going to include a lot of people watching or listening to us here. For the people that watch all companies, both AEW and WWE, this was the first big overt counter program win from Tony Khan. He knows there is a section of the audience that watch both, and we said it before this show even aired. There is absolutely no way that these WarGames matches will compare to Blood and Guts in terms of work rate, quality, and violence, and the good kind of excess. And I think we probably said on the Dynamite review, well, like WarGames cannot compete with that. So anyone that watches both going in with a headspace that either could remotely approach it, knew it wasn't going to happen, and then you watch them fail in that comparison. That's a win. That's a win for Tony Khan. To schedule this in November and not do it in his typical time of year, increasingly to me feels more like all right then, I can do this too, and actually giving them giving them a bit back at the end of the year around a stadium show, saying we can't put 40,000 in a building right now, but we'll absolutely smoke you 2 big matches for quality, and it was in doubt before any of the wrestlers got in the ring, wasn't it? And they've done it. I think it's an optics win for Tony Khan, as small an audience as that might be catering to. He's won a big one here, I think.
What did you think of it, Willie?
I had this experience not only watching it, but then making my notes for this, which is, I know I went in talking about it, and you talked about it as much with regards to the build to other shows of the promos and all the stuff that went beforehand. I was like, let's go look at the lineups for these teams. Oh, what's it going to be like when, AJ Lee's across from Asuka or something like that? And I was excited. I remained excited and was subsequently very happy with what happened with the John Cena, Dominik Mysterio stuff, which we will get into. But I have to say, I watched the video package at the start, and I was like, yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm like, never really been a huge fan of WarGames, to be perfectly honest. Like you say, I was saying to Andy before we talked about it on the news today, I was like, has there been 3 good ones that I could pick out in the recent run of them? That I could be like, not only this was a good match, but here's some really memorable spots from it. Really?
No.
So I went into it, but I was like, they've hooked me with the way they've built this. And then literally, as I've been making my notes for the first bit of the women's match, for example, and this is the same for the men, I was like, here we go. And then I was like,
centered.
And then we've got
the old center.
Yeah, I've got to wait a few more minutes, and then someone else has come out. Oh, they've brought a chain with them or whatever. Yeah, that's been thrown away. And then another person. Another person come out. And then even when the WarGames began, I was still a bit like, yeah, I don't really like this as a concept.
Yeah, it's crap, man. It's
people are saying in the chat, by the way, would elimination make it any better?
It's a thought. If it 5-star or 5, then there was elimination. You're adding Jeopardy there.
But then they binned, a different WWE a generation ago, binned all elimination tag Survivor Series because it no longer drew or it no longer captured people's imagination. And then when they did bring it back, they killed it with the Raw versus SmackDown thing. I think people have got those two things confused a little bit about how, no, I don't want to go back to them. No, Raw versus SmackDown was terrible. Goodies versus baddies. The SmackDown Survivor Series tag match was good.
Yeah.
You could have put that on this card and it would have made it better.
Trade offer. You could do a WarGames match where all 10 wrestlers start in the ring and then they get eliminated one by one.
Yes.
That's the answer.
And then you play their music when they get eliminated.
So people can do their stupid little pops.
Yeah, you can still come out one at a time. Yeah, all the teammates out one at a time.
Oh, so you do the entrance.
10 entrances.
I'm
not paying my ticket. I'm 10 entrances.
And then I can Sean Spears that bitch, Ty Dillinger that bitch.
There you go.
10.
Yeah, the card would have been better with the Survivor Series match on from SmackDown.
Still need Wednesday, looking forward to it.
So yeah, I'll run you through elements of this. We sort of alluded to some of the moments, perhaps. So yeah, no shark cages. We start with the women's WarGames match. It was Charlotte and Asuka starting us off. Then Io Sky with her personalised bin. Then Becky Lynch, Charlotte gets in Becky's face, and Becky Lynch tries to be a bit more friendly, but they just go back and forth, obviously. Here comes Kairi Sane with chain wrapped around her wrist. AJ Lee tries to get in there. Becky blocks her entrance, so she climbs over the top and does a crossbody. Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley with a Terrifier-inspired face mask. It was a nice spot where Ripley got Kyrie in a standing cloverleaf whilst the bin was wrapped around her head. Not the bin, actually. A bin was wrapped around her head, and Sky drop-kicked it. And then our favourite, Lash Legend, came out and was made to look impressive from the bumps that people took from her. But I look at your faces and...
I loved it when she got in there, but they set her up to fail, bringing her out last and expecting a reaction.
Yes.
She earned the reaction that we knew she could get because we've seen her wrestle.
Big boots and power bombs and what have you, yeah.
A vast amount of the 40-odd thousand had never seen her or didn't know how to react.
I think she's looked more impressive before, I will say that.
Yeah, she's had. But I thought this was as effective as it could have been before the mist.
Becky Lynch gave AJ Lee a manhandle slam.
Everybody missed.
Sky.
Good one, Dick.
Sky breaks that up with a moonsault. Lash and Nia Jax press slammed Io Sky across the ring onto her teammates. And Kairi Sane hit Sky with a sort of Asuka-assisted insane elbow, but Rhea broke that up. Asuka tries misting Rhea Ripley. Charlotte saves her, though. New friends. And Lash Legend gets misted instead. Ripley and Charlotte hit a double vertical super.
Double? What's that?
A double vertical
Not
suplex
double
on
means,
Nia
but I don't know what
Jax.
double is.
Bliss hit Twisted Bliss. Sky went up top and got the bin. Well, I say got the bin. AJ Lee tried to pass it to her, but she was so bloody high. Rhea Ripley had to get her up on her shoulders to pass it to Io Sky. I did pop, I will say, because it's like, very nice. It's the bin spot. Here we go. And then when she swanton, I was like, Jesus, is that okay? Did it onto all her opponents. Becky Lynch is the only one still standing. She tries to get out of there, but Charlotte drags her down. Bliss punched her. Rhea hit a riptide. And AJ Lee got the submission victory.
Submission.
Victory
She was very much the kid list.
with the Black Widow.
Kid list for the revolution.
I feel like we've already talked about a lot of the problems with this and the main event in terms of they were the same in some respect. There was like loads of dead space.
It just didn't work.
Need we say more? So I'll like highlight a few bright spots that I liked from it because there were a couple.
Bury it and be accurate.
There was a couple of things I really enjoyed. I did like, again, a lot of this on paper works better, but some of the execution was really poor throughout. And you just can have those bad nights, unfortunately. I thought Becky Lynch was
365 of them.
a riot at points, like doing this, like over the top. Like she's playing a Trump character, that's what's happening. And the over the top selling when she knew she had the camera on and just doing that ridiculous scream in the corner, that popped me. I liked Lash Legend, again, no reaction. So then you got to go in there and earn it. Like, everybody bumps like mad for it. It's a shame the miss looks so utterly rubbish because that was quite nicely structured. She has come in and she has destroyed absolutely everybody. So they need something to happen to her. Like, if that miss doesn't happen, the babyface will lose the match. So they've structured this in a way where she needs to be taken out to even give the babyfaces a fighting chance. And then when they do, you still have to line up a situation where all four are taken out believably. In this case, with the bin spot to allow
Believably, they just stood around and took it.
in kayfabe. Like,
Okay, I'm with you.
that's a kill shot. We know it's
Yeah,
in
okay.
WarGames, they in the bin.
Got to set it up better.
For Becky, the self-appointed captain, to try and run away and lose the match by surrender. Like, I thought that was
That is
really,
a nice additional rule that if
Yeah.
you leave, you lose the match.
really nicely arrived at to get to the AJ finish when all the babyface. There was good vibes around the goodies. You know, like they'd done what they needed to do. They dispatched of all the baddies with all the different skills, right down to AJ being too short and Rhea like putting her on her shoulders. I thought that was like really nicely laid out to get to the big, like incredibly satisfying conclusion while still giving Becky there. There was 5 of them. Jesus, like a lot to like about that. But the crowd felt like they needed it because they like deservedly like sat on their hands. You know, there was nothing really throughout. That's so much match. That's so much in ring
So
time.
much flab.
With like 2 spots, there was like a couple, like Io Sky bumped for a life out there. Was a couple of like really nasty drop kicks that I remember, and a couple of moments. Oh, but that's now over half an hour, 40 minutes, and then like I say, quite a enjoyable last 2 or 3, and how it all came together. I really wish the mist had worked. I can't stress that enough because the rest of it I loved, and they all looked kind of like clowns out there trying to like make the best of a bit of a botched spot, but. You cannot do that little you've got to apply the thought into the mini matches before you get to, because the big crescendo, it's not the easy bit, but the big crescendos are stuff where all 10 are in there. You've got the most people. You've got all the get outs you need. You could have come up with 5 different finishes, but what I'm trying to get at is that, like, once they're all in there, that's the kind of, you're on the home straight then. It's kind of hard to F that up.
Yeah.
It's the tricky bits require work and intricate thought into how you make, like, so many individual battles matter, and they just failed massively at that.
Yeah, with the women's match, and this isn't on them, this is on the booking, but like with the women's match in particular, if we'd have all sat down to watch it together, and then I'd have said, we've got to save a bit of time here. Let's just skip to when the WarGames officially begin. There's hardly anything in that preceding 20, 25, 30 minutes that you would have been like, no, we have to go back because we have to see this moment. It's like, right now, I know the match starts, but it felt like now the action can properly start.
Sorry, so just before, to your point about that, and earlier on about the war games that, like, nobody really remembers these WWE ones. It's probably a bit of live bias because I was there, but it was like, she was the third one in when Tegan Knox Dakota Kai turned on Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
Imagine skipping to the match beyond. Why is there only 2 of them? What's this?
Jesus.
What's this massive incident that's occurred? What, you could have told a story in the middle where one of them was like, had to be stretched off, and that, shows the violence of it, and then the babyface makes the heroic comeback, whatever. Like Becky Lynch and Charlotte brawling was about the closest she came to anything that even got the audience up, and it never felt violent, did it? It was just, they've been here a while. That was about the extent of it.
In of all matches, war games, which you are told throughout the promotion and the build of the PLE, is like, idiot. Michael Cole was like, it shortens careers, that old awful WWE cliche. And of all matches, this one, like, the vast majority of wrestlers in it were wrestling as if they were knackered on the last night of a European tour. It was noticeably limp, tepid. No one was laying nothing in throughout. If there's ever a night when he can just kind of not WWE it was that match. It was staggeringly just there. And even that suggests they just were going through the motions. It was like a lot like just softer, limper than I thought possible, even with this promotion doing this stipulation, which Triple H is such a big-nosed arsehole, isn't he? Like, we are cursed with this because he grew up enjoying this match and wanted to really do it in WWE. It's like, what were you watching, buddy? Not this.
He got given the Elimination Chamber as a compromise, and he books much better chambers than War Games.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say, I'm half with Hamflett on. I did like the thinking behind, only through sheer ineptitude on the part of the heels did that monstrous Lash Legend get taken out of this match, because otherwise the baby faces were done for. A cool idea to preserve the mystique that they're trying to build with Lash Legend. Furthermore, I also thought it was a good idea to, like, really put over the scale of the cage and the major risk of EO doing that spot by having, we can't do it. This cage is simply too big. And jumping off it is too stupid an idea. So we'll have to get another person to hop on Rhea's shoulders. So that was quite clever. Now it illustrates she's really high up, and what you're about to see is a huge risk. Problem is, that risk, watching Io Sky doing the bin spot off the top of the War Games cage, for me, it's like watching Hacksaw Jim Duggan go, "Ho!" on a 2014 Nostalgia Raw. Just, we're still doing this.
Me and Wilbourn booked a much
We're
better
still doing this.
We had a better one for this year. We did forecast Rhea Ripley's the one that brings out the bin, but she brings out, you know how like they're split into 2 now for like recycling and household waste? It's a friendship bin, and they can both fit inside.
Double bin.
So they're doing their hug thing, but they're giant bin over the top of both of them. Double bubble.
2 bins, one for recycling, one for general waste, and they can jump off the cage at the same time.
I mean, we really like the idea of the double friendship bin, please, if that's okay with it. Super powered bin. But yeah, 2 bins. It's 2.
And then you can have garden waste as well.
Oh my God. Next year, a bin for every team
Charlotte
member.
Flair.
Yeah.
Now friends with Rhea Ripley, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, the friendship bins.
Friendship bins.
Absolutely. Honestly, this match sucked ass. Just, God, I was watching it going, it doesn't even count yet. They're not even laying it in. And I've got one more take on this before we move on. And,
don't hurt me.
Sacrilege Corner. Becky Lynch's current character direction and her newfound willingness to put people over. It's so much worse than her actual willingness to do it about 2 years ago. She's losing a lot, playing the fool, doing very overt, broad bits, losing a lot, sort of masquerading as this ultimate force to get everyone over. But really, how cool am I for doing that? And how funny am I making it? Becky Lynch is in a Chris Jericho era.
It's a good take and worth watching because wrestling's very weird and nuanced in that the more of a clown she is, by design, the less the person gets over, and it's almost like not beat the real Becky. Like AJ Lee has defeated this Becky Lynch twice, but she hasn't beaten their Becky Lynch that Bianca Belair beat at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's like, and to a lesser extent, like Maxine Dupree, the gulf is so enormous. Maxine Dupree still gets something out of it, but there is something to like the advice that somebody will have given her. Like, well, you really want to make it look like, be helpful, be the biggest loser of all.
Yeah,
because what's the biggest of something? A winner. It's like that's how it works.
Just some of her bits I found significantly less than funny, quite frankly. Like that bit, it got memed all hour on X. The Charlotte just gently.
I enjoyed that. I like the screaming bit.
Yeah, terrible. Absolutely abysmal. Anyway, I'm ready to move on.
Well, let's move on to the match of the night. Intercontinental Championship match. John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio.
Oh my God.
Preemptive. Dom there, of course, with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Chad Patton, the referee, early on gets distracted by Dom, and Roxanne trips Cena as he hits the ropes. Dom boots Cena in the corner, pulls the referee aside again so Raquel can cheap shot John Cena, and Dom can show off and hit the three amigos. Cena recovers, so Dom runs away, hides behind Raquel and Roxanne, and jumps Cena from behind as that's all going on, basically. Then, quite early on in the match, Dom goes for a Hurricane Rana off the barricade, and, well, what we thought was a horrific botch happens. It seemed like either he'd not quite got in the right position for the Hurricane Rana, or Cena thought he was meant to powerbomb him, or whatever. Either way, they both go down. Everyone goes, particularly off the back of what happened with Penta, obviously, on Raw. Dom lands on his shoulder and sells and sells. Medical staff come in. Looks like the match is going to be called. The crowd are a bit disappointed in all this. And then suddenly, with the referee and everyone distracted looking after Dominik Mysterio, Raquel gets in there, hits John Cena with a Tejana bomb. Roxanne Perez hit Pop Rocks. And Dom suddenly, I'm all better, slides in the ring, hits Cena with a 619, frog splash. Referee Chad Patton's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm not counting a pin for that. So people are apoplectic. Dom particularly is. Raquel and Roxanne get kicked from ringside. Cena comes back, shoulder tackle, side slam, 5-knuckle shuffle. Once an AA. Dom gets out of that but gets put in the STFU. Dom gets a rope break. Unzips his boot as Cena grabs his ankle again. It slips out. And Dom drops him into the middle rope and hits a 619 and another frog splash for a near fall. But he takes too long. Cena hits an AA for a nice near fall there. Cena goes for another shoulder tackle. Dom ducks. Wham! Chad Patton eats it. Referee goes down. Cena puts on another STFU. I think Dom tapped. I can't remember. Regardless, no one sees it, obviously, or no one important sees it. Finn Balor and JD run out to attack Cena. McDonald wants a moonsault. Cena gets the knees up. He dodges Balor's coup de grace. And he, fair play, picks both men up on his shoulders to hit a double AA. That was a lovely moment. Yeah. So Dom in all this grabs the belt, wants to use it as a weapon, but Cena ducks it, hits another AA, beckons to the back, send me another referee. But then, well, what music hit? Michael Hamflett.
Watch me.
Liv Morgan returns. Huge pop, obviously. She runs out. She's ecstatic to see Dom. There's a moment, and then she slaps the taste out of his mouth, turns around, leaps into the arms of John Cena, hugs him, but then her face drops. Just like John Cena's did at the Elimination Chamber. She jumps down and just like John did, kicks him right in the balls. There was a title belt shot, a 619 and a frog splash. 1, 2, 3. The couple are back together. Dom has the IC title again. What a moment.
I love this. And it wasn't perfect. Like, not by a long shot was this perfect. I'll get the negatives out of the way because I did really, really enjoy this. There was something about Liv Morgan coming back here, but you don't know until it's happened. Like, we could fantasy book something like this, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then after the fact, I don't know what it was. I did feel a little bit empty at the end. And weirdly, we've previewed Raw, wherever you get your podcasts, and I'm sort of more into it already. Now I'm actually thinking about what's going to happen on Raw tonight. But in the moment, as like Liv and Dom are walking out together, I was like, I don't know if it was just because I wanted Cena to win. I wanted him to take the IC title to his last ever match. I don't know. But it was just like, right, that's done now. I was very excited about Liv Morgan return. I've had it, and it's done. And I think I wished it was still in the chamber a little bit, you know. But I've kind of got a lot of faith in the booking of that character, so probably all right. But I don't know. For some reason, I don't think I'd have brought her back right here. However, she was perfect for this like story that they've often told with like Dominik Mysterio, that she's the proper difference maker. She has been the like categoric difference in his success from going from being street trash to a guy that can win belts, that can beat his dad, you know, all the achievements that every wrestler wants.
Yeah.
And a very satisfying payoff when all the other Judgment Day plans failed. She's the proper leader of this group. She's smarter. She picks a spot, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, you get the callback to the Elimination Chamber turn. Like, why not? Why not do that sort of stuff? But that, yet again, leaves me with a bit of sadness and frustration that the heel turn never happened, because John Cena's had 20-odd years at this, and look at how many things you can call back to. Look at how many things you can have fun with. They're calling back to a heel turn that took place this year. Like, they've got 20-odd of them to pick from John Cena's career, and every single one of these could have been as magic as this. This babyface run of John Cena's, I have loved it. I am going to feel really emotional on that last... I'm honestly, like, I'm going to be welling up, I promise you. That, when he leaves and he touches the thing, and you kind of... The camera zooms out, and you can, when he's, like, leaving, and he said goodbye, and you see him walking, like, after... Like, the camera... He thinks is off, but, like, it's zoomed out so far, you can actually see him walking towards Gorilla, and I couldn't take my eyes off him. I was like, that's a last. I believe him. There's going to be comebacks. There's going to be the odd Raw reunion thing. He might take a Saudi payday kind of thing. But in the proper sense, this feels legit. This feels like I'm buying this. And I maybe made a mark of like I always am. But I'm buying into this. And it's really worked on me. I told you it's on the last Raw, I think it was. That's the proper end. I've just seen the proper end. So this has worked on me. Like a last, it was stupid. It's John Cena, man. He can't help himself. It was like last PLE. I'm like, yeah, it's PLE, mate. It's been a run. Last time on ESPN. It's like your second time or something. Like, he can't. He's sick. He's so stupid and bad.
Yeah,
but like,
he's terrible.
But it's a long time of being stupid and bad, and long, like, 20-odd years of it. It's 2 decades of stupid and bad, so that kind of means something for some reason. I'm weird. Like, so I don't know. I will feel something for this John Cena last match, as I did here, as the match ended and all the bells and whistles went, and he just drops the act and he just walks to the back, and you're like, oh, that's something. And they've played off that within the body of these matches in such a fun way. You knew when, as soon as Finn Balor and JD McDonough were wedged in the corner, you knew it was coming. You know, we're getting one more double AA. John Cena's done loads in his career. You are never going to run out.
Shown edge.
Being the most. You are never going to run out of things to reference from this man's career, and this was yet more proof of it, as we've seen against AJ, Sami Zayn. You know, the big baby, not the Brock disaster, but big baby face moments. You've seen them do it. Dominik Mysterio was the perfect foil. Like, the idea that, if you notice, every single time you regain the advantage, it was just 619 frog splash. I've got nothing left. Like, and advantages come my way either through my planning or dumb luck, because that's my entire life, really. I'm Dominik Mysterio. I'll do my dad's best moves and see how that goes. Like, I love that as a device. That was all he went back to. You know, the boot didn't really even help him, but he's like, I'm a little bastard. Will this work? You know?
I genuinely think Dominik Mysterio might be my wrestler of the year.
I
love him.
You can make a really strong case for it, I think.
When she kicked him in the cock, I knew it was coming, obviously, with the face drop. When she kicked him in the cock and they did the belt shot and the 619, I was like, yes! I was so happy. I was buzzing. And I was like, oh, that's when I feel something, compared to the WarGames matches where I was just like, it's over. Everyone's pretty pissed.
Everyone's pretty pissed.
From the point at which he ran in from the medics, of like looking over him,
that was such a good spot.
It was a night off for them after that, because it's that very Dominik thing to not even like take my chance. He just sprinted into the ring. Like there was a night off from there on because they knew what else was coming. They knew that like the fans were totally bought into it, totally locked in. Again, a big stadium crowd that sat silently through large portions of the WarGames matches because nothing was happening. We're given action. We're given big moments. The work was the work. You know, there's 10 moves. Like it didn't matter. Like the stuff that was timed out really, really well. This was, I say this a lot now, this was John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio and not a single thing more. You know, like this wasn't an attempt to be more than like, in order to top the Madison Square Garden match, it wasn't like they were all of a sudden going to like try and become the super worker version themselves. We joked about, I would have liked to have seen Cena pull every muscle in his body doing the 619. Who wouldn't? But, you know, that was maybe, legitimately, that was maybe a request too far for him physically. So they stayed in their lane in that regard. I love this John Cena run. I'm going to miss it, and I'm going to miss him. It has been supremely effective for me. This, to me, is like a lot of people felt this way when Ric Flair was retiring, and the matches were nothing to write home about, but he understood the gravity of the stipulation, and you watch them.
He came back within the same year.
No.
I know what you mean.
Against something like MVP.
Is it the same year he did Australia?
It might have been
or the year after.
A year after at tops.
Yeah.
Because I think it must have been the year after because he turned up for that WrestleMania 25, but he didn't work it, did he?
Yeah.
But against, you know, your MVP, your Kennedys or whatever, nobody's buying the retirement. But Flair will do some Flair stuff in the middle and you'll be like, oh, no, this old guy.
Yeah.
No, this little red-breasted Kennedy can't be the guy. Not Ric Flair, you know. And this has been that times a million for me. I love this, and I loved this match. And by the end, you kind of realise why Dominik had to win. But I think him winning took something away from the Liv Morgan bit from him. Not perfect, but really great.
This was the best thing on the show. Not saying a great deal. You know what John Cena is to me now? Maybe this is why you like this so much, right?
A big, dumb, stupid, thick idiot.
Well, but in a good way.
Okay.
Because this new John Cena formula, for me, he's almost like the babyface Jeff Jarrett. In that, I know you are, man. I know you're listening. Where he has this match, and it's almost gleefully, unashamedly, I'm going to overbook it. I do not have the ability to do a 2011 Money in the Bank main event. I do not have the durability or whatever to do my PWG John Cena run. I can do shortcuts. Which ones? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like that Jeff Jarrett thing of like, there are so many just ridiculous devices of like, just crappy shortcut, seen it all before, crappy shortcut. Yeah, but if we do them in a different order and just do so many, it's like, does shit taste good now? All that stuff that I've told, it's a stupid smoke and mirrors device. Oh, that's dumb. And especially now where the idea of the banger is still so prevalent, just to do stupid twist, stupid turn, stupid spot. Like, trope, cliche, cliche, where you just think, oh, these goated now. This is kind of bedlam. I'm not into it. So it's so shallow. There's so many shallow moments that eventually there's a depth to it. Do you know?
Because if you top all the shallows up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I'm into it now. This is crazy. It's so stupid that it comes all the way back on itself and becomes quite clever because, well, I'm in it now.
Yeah.
I'm in it. The injury tease, I thought I couldn't decide whether it was, I mean, they got me in the moment, so obviously it worked, but I couldn't decide in the aftermath. Was it clever because they've literally
Meltzer loved it, didn't he?
established precedent that
Quite
it's
elegant,
literally
that,
just
isn't it?
happened? And you're thinking, oh, not like, you know, bad news comes in 2s and 3s and buses. You wait all this time for a bus. So there is precedent for one thing to follow another. So I thought that was quite clever, actually, now that I come to think about it. But that doesn't matter. So I was thinking about it afterwards. In the moment, I'm like,
This is weird for a John Cena match.
And I thought as well, by sheer dumb luck, or not dumb luck, actually, it's because Dominik Mysterio happens to have really poor technique. When they did the thing where you're not meant to do, where the first, if it looks good initially, don't ruin it by replays. But they did the slow down footage. And you look like, he did go on his arm or shoulder a little bit there. Luckily, Dom's crap. So because he doesn't have good technique at the best of times, he could buy it. So I thought that was clever. I will say, Liv Morgan doing her Hollywood are watching face, I hated that spot. I hated that it's when someone's trying so hard to like do something epic or cool. I just cannot deal with it at all. It's just one of my icks. Like, check this out. I cannot deal with it at all here. Hollywood is watching. Do your best face. I found it pretty cringeworthy. And because Dom has shown so far absolutely zero in the way of Roxanne Perez as well. She's around. So I'll just go for her instead of Liv Morgan. Because there was no reason for Liv to even pretend to be pissed off with him and slap him like about a bit. I was like, I don't buy any of this at all.
That might be what didn't work for me, because I felt that as well. I was like, right now, it was Candice LeRae, wasn't it, with Johnny and Tommaso that time? Slap, turn around, kicking the bollocks, whatever. I felt that in the moment. I was like, well, it's John Cena. She's come to attack.
Yeah.
And no point was I bought into the split has happened.
I thought she was just enjoying his last PLE match.
So shut up, man. So in my head, I'm thinking either it's a ruse, therefore I can't get into this, or she's legit turning on him, which is stupid because he's done nothing to kind of deserve it. He's always been quite weirdly loyal to Liv Morgan. So I looked at two eventualities, didn't buy any of them, and then combined that with the ick face. It's a triangle of sadness.
Well,
good.
Speaking of witnessing history, ladies and gentlemen, we have all just witnessed history. Because in that rant, Michael Sidgwick dropped his 2000th swear of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it in.
Yeah.
I was worried you were going to do it on the Raw preview
2001, a fuck Odyssey.
It's good.
And this is the man who instigated the swear counter because he believed you swore more than he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm living in a different world, man. Yeah. What am I thinking? What's wrong with me?
How many do you think you're on this year?
It's got to be like,
I reckon I'm going to guess 14-5.
I was just going to say 1,500 and a bit, maybe 1,510. Let's say
1,215.
Oh, less than I thought, actually.
Just 785 behind Sidge.
What's wrong with me, man? Seriously,
What's happening in Sidge world?
I used to think that. What?
Nicholas,
Go.
a whole 13 for you.
Yeah, I need to calm
Potty
down.
mouth.
I need to calm down. 1 a month, well, more than 1 a month.
Yeah.
Stacks with 15. I'm on 108.
That's not bad
But
for
that
you.
also includes when I read out someone who does a good swear on the show or whatever.
Right, okay, yeah.
So it's not me.
Like when Cody
Yeah,
told
exactly.
the road to go F himself, yeah.
But I sense what we're going to talk about next might make both of you swear a little bit more, or maybe not, because
I've got no words, let alone swear words.
Yeah, no one cares about Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella for the Women's World Championship. There was a rack attack 2.0 in there. Vaquer got a foot on the rope. Vaquer earlier on had missed a knee drop on the apron, but hit it later. Then hit a devil's kiss on the announce table, and then hit a second one, and that awesome corkscrew splash.
That's a sprue. I know what a corkscrew is.
Corkscrew splash for the 1, 2, 3.
This was bad and not good. This was bad because, like, Picky Pella, like, we can't. I would probably have defended her for quite a long time, but she's finished. She's finished. She's absolutely finished, and like I would have, like a half decent performance here, and I would have thought, hey, there's
Graziano.
something worth persisting with. It wasn't that. Like Nikki Bella was simply not able to get the audience. Like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what happens in the match, right? But John Cena has just proven that if, especially when you're like, she's a Hall of Famer and people definitely backed her return because there's a loyalty to Nikki Bella from a section of the audience. Like, and not
all
in
Hall of Famers, Michael.
we've talked before, you know, Total Bellas, Total Divas. Nikki Bella has like an undeniable impact to a portion of the audience. I think she opened WWE up to an audience that they didn't have before or weren't nurturing before.
I don't think they're watching.
Well, I think if they were, you'd hear more noise in her matches. I think you would. She's not got the most exciting set of moves, but you would hear the noise for the stuff she could do. There was a move on the floor earlier on. Was it a face buster or an X Factor that she did? Like, that deserved a reaction. But at this point, nobody was buying her winning the title.
So spaces between the moves.
And she's not the wrestler to get that reaction because of that, because of the space between, because of the dark arts. She's simply not. Like, I would argue there were points where she came close to being that, but she's not that. Nikki Bella brings different things, and none of them were on display here, unfortunately. Stephanie Vaquer, that's why it was bad. Why it also wasn't good is because Stephanie Vaquer, who is one of my favourite wrestlers this year, was ultimately given the task of trying to elevate some bad material in hindsight with this story. Like, the feud wasn't wafer thin, but the idea that Nikki Bella could win the title was.
It was AI generated slop.
It was telegraphed.
Telegraphed, yeah.
The moment she was like, me and you probably best mates, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, this is just the most Paul Levesque phoned in story imaginable.
And there was
Did her no favours.
There was a time and a place probably for this match. It would have been TV. It would have been 3 or 4 defences in for Stephanie Vaquer, like a real confident champion that's firing on all cylinders, that subsequently doesn't see that one of her friends is going to turn her, then you have a TV match and she wins. Not the sort of, that's quite a lot of pressure here. I want you to carry, not carry, that's unfair to Nikki Bella. I want you to carry your load in this match to make it hot in a stadium. And it was too big a challenge. Stephanie Vaquer did nothing wrong, and yet it's kind of the worst she's looked in wrestling in the last 2 years. So you've got to kind of put that on the booking and Nikki Bella, I think. I'm not trying to get Stephanie Vaquer out of trouble, but she looked here like she can't be the wrestler that can take a situation not great and make it great. And I think she can, but this was just a step too far. A really, really poor match as well. Like, I wouldn't say underthought. I just don't think they could have. Nikki Bella, the two of them together couldn't have assembled more than they did here. And what they assembled here was nowhere near enough to keep a crowd up after the John Cena thing. Mm-hmm. Not good enough.
Where was it again, Survivor Series?
San Diego.
San Diego, right, okay. So California, you're on the coast, right? Like East Coast. And yeah. So you know what happens, sadly, if you are too close to a big old body of water, is that you do have a pest problem. Was it Phil who lives right next to a little stream in Sandyford?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. He was talking to us about this.
He's got some problems with rats and all the rest of it. Well, San Diego, goes to California, big old body of water next to that. You're a rare piss on cat. No one cared. Absolutely nobody cared. Kind of bleak. Nothing to it. Just Nikki Bella, almost Logan Paul-esque with the taunt spamming, masquerading as crowd psychology, except like Nikki Bella doesn't seem to have any cachet with this audience whatsoever. I'm not denying historically that Total Divas and Total Bellas was a pretty monumental draw by modern TV standards, certainly as it pertains to pro wrestlers. But we've talked before, maybe that audience disappeared alongside the ones of the separate audience that migrated to AEW, and what's left is this new WWE audience that just likes the last 4 years or whatever, you know? This, when Jey Uso, and if they completely dropped this, was kind of flirting with the idea of turning heel. And I said, don't do this. Stupid idea, because he is so fundamentally bad at professional wrestling that the idea that he can take the heat and dominate wrestlers is going to fall flat on its ass because him. But he's a clown. He can't control anyone. He can't even control his own chair shots without giving himself a concussion, potentially. The idea of Nikki Bella being this sort of like, oh, look at me, I'm dominating your favorite, boo me. It's like, you're Nikki Bella and you're not very good anymore. So she's very badly cast. The match it just felt longer somehow at points than the women's WarGames, which was diabolical.
So many changes in momentum rather than just one. You know, like Nikki has the advantage, Stephanie gets it back and wins.
They just went on.
That would have been fine. They like switched offense 2 or 3 times. You're like, what? Like, how has it gone back to Nikki Bella? You've already been in charge twice.
Yeah, no.
Like, what else have you got to do?
Just go home.
Yeah, go home.
Go home. Go to the finish.
We talk about it sometimes, and it's always worth bringing up. I think that you mentioned about the WWE fan base. If you want to like trace a lot of this fan base back, you could probably trace it to about 2022. And I think this is a valid comparison at least. There's an Attitude Era element to this fan base and the fact that if you look at those Attitude Era buildings, 98, 99, 2000, they have definitely just jumped on here. You know, Steve Austin is there, like, first Rock, whatever. Like, that would be...
Like the 99 buildings compared to the 98.
Yeah.
It's crazy, the biggest scale.
It would be bringing Nikki Bella, and this is no disrespect intended to Nikki Bella, that would be the equivalent of bringing back one of mine and Sidge's, like, WrestleMania 6 guys and just expecting them to blend in the Attitude Era and be worthy of a title shot. To the fans, in the building. Like, WrestleMania 6 opened with, like, they're better wrestlers because it was a different time, but, like, WrestleMania 6 opens with Rick Martel versus Coco Beware. If you drop the model of the Birdman in the Attitude Era, and they're not just there to kind of be laughed at or be the butt of jokes, but in fact, to compete against Steve Austin as a credible challenger, nobody's buying it.
No one's buying it.
And I just told the parrot to suck it. That might work.
You could do that, yeah.
Why would you want to do that to a parrot, though?
It's just an option, isn't it? I forgot to mention the socket from Rhea and Charlotte in the match, so I thought I'd bring it up now.
Okay.
That proved they were
both,
friends, didn't it?
Yeah, they both collectively, Sidge told one of the heels to...
Don't suck my dick!
Indeed.
But that's a Nikki Bella. The time frame is the same, basically, from when she was a full-timer versus now. And if you're asking an audience to be like the phrase Hall of Famer might mean something to us, but to some
Not to
people
me,
there, it
it
might be
doesn't.
like...
Not to me,
Well,
it
no, but
doesn't.
all right,
Don't
but
put words in my mouth.
That's fair enough, but like to some people, it will just be X years ago.
Yeah.
Not that this person was good, just they were around that long ago.
Yeah, here's one more thing on this as well. Like, she's won how many matches on TV? Hardly any.
Yeah, a couple.
Like, people who engage earnestly with this product will probably be thinking, what she got a title shot for? She never wins nothing. That's almost certainly what they said.
Our two friends in the crowd.
Yeah. How's she doing, Jim Bob? I don't fucking know.
How did you get tickets to the show? Long old travel to San Diego.
You know,
I got people.
I got connections. I knows ways.
Twitter account, WWE Home and Away.
Right, should we get to the men's War Games match?
San Diego final boss. You know, call that guy from the Marseille game the Marseille final boss now.
Is that right? Yeah, dang. Not the final boss, of course.
Yeah. That's The Rock.
Obviously. Could have
Uh,
let his daughter have it.
That's so funny.
Really could have, couldn't he?
My
Not when I'm on
favourite
NXT. It's not my role. It says, it's the wrong way around doing.
It's the ultimate. It's one of my favorite wrestling moments of the entire year. It's the ultimate easy gag that if The Rock could just be nice or giving to his own flesh and blood once, and just went, "Hey, you think I'm the final boss? You should meet Ava." I'm not going to turn around and go, "Oh God, is Ava more influential and cooler and more badass than The Rock?"
Was he worried she was going to take his roles or something?
Don't know.
Has he met her?
how dare you? Some respect on Avar's name. We'll have to go there tomorrow.
Is it?
You got us a whistle yet?
Oh, no. I'll get you that for Secret Santa. A whistle to play Avar.
Checking.
A whistle
I want a whistle, man.
for a podcast.
I actually know what I'm getting you.
Oh, God. Imagine that.
Can you imagine you're listening to a podcast and somebody whistles?
I need a whistle. If I'm going to play the role of Avar
I want to
correctly.
eat at the same time.
You need a whistle. Like need
Think of the listeners.
Yeah, I need a whistle.
water, air.
Are you talking about first of all, annoying noises don't turn people off content. First of all, Wilbourn hosts this.
And how are you?
Correct.
It's a pitch thing, isn't it?
One of the very best video games in the history of what some people to this day says has the single best catalogue of games of any console is Yoshi's Island. Throughout the entire game, you have to listen to a baby cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds sad. Never played Yoshi's either.
Basically, you play a series of Yoshis, and like you're tasked with navigating puzzles, obstacles, and enemies to take Baby Mario to a safe haven.
Ah.
And if you get hit by an enemy, you have to then get Baby Mario. People,
Is that where the lore of Baby Mario began?
I think so.
I only met Baby Mario with Mario Kart, so I wondered where they just decided to
Yeah,
have
it's Baby Mario.
baby
yeah.
characters coexisting with their adult selves.
Yeah. Competing with them.
Yeah. Mario Kart Oedipus edition.
People do not like that element and say it's the it is the thing that ruins the game. But
Right.
nonetheless, sold a lot of copies. So I need a whistle.
Okay. Well, in the men's War Games
I mean, it's a
match,
great argument. You have to be fair. You presented it well.
Thank you.
In the men's War Games match, it was CM Punk and Braun Breaker starting us off. Then Drew entered. There was obviously a lot of history between Drew and Punk. Punk fought off both of them, but Drew hit him with a Claymore. Then out comes Cody Rhodes. Cody couldn't get in because the door was being held shut. I've seen this recently. Oh, yeah, the women's War Games match. So he climbs over the top and hits a crossbody. Drops everybody. Well, drops the heels. And then Punk comes up behind him and an errant elbow. That got me very excited for a split second.
It did, and then why do that then?
Yeah. What was that for? You two made friends by the end.
WrestleMania 43.
Yeah. It's like the day this makes WrestleMania.
Let it play
when it's like
out.
WrestleMania 80 or something. It'd be
Yeah.
like, well, they've earned it.
Look at all the
Yeah.
breadcrumbs. They got on the same page, though. They hit
CM Punk's
heart
already
attack on
wrestling like he's 100 years old.
Drew McIntyre. And then they hit Braun Breaker with the Doomsday device.
Oh, God.
Oh my
boy.
God! Shall we stop
Oh
here in
my
case we
God.
forget?
Yeah.
Right. It was always the Doomsday device, a hysterically misjudged move. Awesome, precisely because it was so reckless and ill-advised.
Yeah.
But the thing is if anything, the opposite was true. The opposite danger was true, and that Animal's got them on the shoulders. He's got these ridiculous traps and this bicep strength where he can do the whole. And Hawk is just going to blast your head off. Anything, the risk was to do a double flip and land on the head. But because there's so much force and momentum, they can go all the way over, like land on their knees or whatever, really gnarly. Punk couldn't, he's soft now. He's soft and he's never been athletic. So he's never going to muster the strength to go. And I'm not a wrestler. I might be talking completely out of line and out of my ears. But surely Cody has to. So I don't know who's to blame here, Cody or Punk. But it was bloody one he is. Like, you need a proper lift off. Get off. Because it was just like, eh. And then Punk was like, and it's like, because there's no real force.
It was a shoot, basically, wasn't it? Like, it was what little force he did have was a body pushing another body off someone's body from a height. There was no, there didn't really seem much of the art of the work in it. You're just like, well, if I throw myself into you, you're going to fall off his shoulders, aren't you? I'm going.
Yeah. So I don't know if Cody needed to get that more like, woof, but he just kind of went, eh. And obviously Punk can't be relied on for much.
Cody, basically like Stardust for a second because he froze in that like all fours position trying to get eyes on Braun and then forgot how to move. You're all right. You're okay. And the camera didn't go
I will
back to
say,
that corner. And like obviously
Wade Barrett lost his mind.
it's pro wrestling. These things happen. I'm probably trivializing it with my silly attempts at body language impressions, right? Like, our stupid little world, our version of work dread is, I've got a lot of words to finish on Friday or in other jobs. Like, I probably should have read that email 3 weeks ago. Their version of work dread is, did I just kill you?
yeah.
Did I just kill you
yeah.
with this one mistake that I've made all year that is noticeable,
Just on
We should probably trivialize this stuff a bit less.
on Braun Breaker specifically.
You ain't gonna ever do that.
A lot of arseholes, I think, will just be like, safety police, like, don't let them govern their own bodies and stuff like that. Yes, obviously, never taken a book in my life, wouldn't know how to even advise on it. But there is a cost. Like, the New Japan years that have caught up with the guys that took
Yeah.
those
People were saying it at the time.
injured in the moment.
They
Got up, they were fine.
Look at
No.
Ibushi and
wear and tear,
Naito now.
Yeah. Braun, look at how hard Braun goes into those tables. Look at, like, the stuff. He got up. Brilliant. Thank God. But it's all counted. Like, it's all bought and paid for when the worst inevitably occurs.
He does a spear by jumping onto his own head.
Yeah. Like, it's when he hits the tables full pelt for me or hits somebody into the table. There's so little give. He's obviously incredibly strong and that's awesome. And he walked out and but it does catch up with people. There's a limit on these things. And, maybe this is the example of when, well, you did it in the main event of a stadium pay-per-view in a spot that people will remember. That's, in a way, the dictionary definition of not wasting one. But it looked gnarly as out, man.
No, it looked terrible.
Logan Paul entered.
Those untrained spot monkeys in WWE, yeah.
Then Jimmy Uso.
Where they get trained from the bloody AEW, isn't it? It's where they learn to work. So, not like Braun trying to take it safely, the old PC prospect.
Jimmy shined for a brief moment until Drew hit him with a huge claymore. Then Bronson Reed comes out and hands out tsunamis to Punk, Jimmy, and Cody. Jey Uso comes out with his entrance, obviously, hands out some super kicks, helps Jimmy to his feet. They hit load more super kicks, and a 1D to Logan Paul. And then, what did Jey do?
He found a camera in the middle of a double cage match and went, and I was like, yeah, that was fucking awesome. Like,
I mean, it sucked ass.
no, come on, it's WWE WarGames. Do you want blood? No fucking thanks. Like, I'll take some yeeting, please. Like, that was good stuff.
I like the way Brock's music cut off.
That was it. Like, that was the idea. It's
Kill
like
you both at once.
the big bad's here. Like
At the same time.
I was certain Jay was going to start the match because otherwise, how else were we going to get mass yeeting?
Imagine him for 40 minutes.
Well, and that's so. I think this is what I mean. This is the best case scenario. Everybody got
or
one.
you could just not. You could just eat ones.
What, screw the audience. Come on. They didn't even get. He's got to run straight in the ring. There's no lingering yeet time. Like, it was. Do you see Punk play in the chair? Even Cody was like, "Oh, it's pretty good actually." Like, I like this a lot. This is what a WWE WarGames match should be. Come up with WWE stuff because they're not going to hurt each other, like except with the Doomsday device. There's no blood or interest in like wrestling to be found in these. That's
Punk
what
got a tiny bit of colour, didn't he, in there? Was he get thrown against the cell or something?
That's when you knew this match was never going to land because it's like when Punk
Can't bleed.
Yeah. It's just not going to be all night, you know. Yeah, I love this. More of this. Like, it's
That's some strange twist of fate that this match sucked.
no, I know, but like you know, and you'd need a favour off the
Sucked because it
universe.
sucked ass.
Like, he was supposed to be nicely covered in blood as Drew McIntyre walks the aisle, so you can get, here we go, them two in the cage again, blood, let's get, and it's already dried up. And no, you might
What
as
a
well
bleeder
speed,
he usually is.
you might as
CM
well speed
Punk.
up, Drew, because
Maybe bust me open again.
I loved it. More of this. Like, this is what you should be doing.
Less of this.
Way more of this. Like, it's fed. Like, people are paying for this sort of stuff. Give them that because you're not going to give them the stuff that, like, a lot of people our age that like WarGames a certain way. They're never going to deliver that, right? You shouldn't book WarGames. But
Well, yeah.
Yes, that's the answer.
book this version of it, you know?
I don't know.
They turned the lights out in one of the Undertaker Royal Rumbles once, and the whole Rumble was it was 97. And that, I'd never thought about that before. And all of a sudden, the whole Rumble's playing out to darkness because the Undertaker's walking down there. I was like, that's brilliant. That's really cool. Like, I would have never thought of that as a spot. Like, WarGames briefly got derailed by Yeet. Because that's what happens in WWE. Like, I think that is a rule of the universe way more than 6 people bleeding. What's more likely in a WWE cage match? Like, I thought this was kind of inspired.
Even if they did a heavy concentration of plunder spots, I would hate it anyway, so you win.
Oh, all right.
I'd rather have.
Oh,
all of
can I
that.
talk about how personalised
I
weapons...
was just going to say, I love the customized kendo sticks.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
With the green chain and the black, yeah.
I hate all
the
that
white
stuff.
Pin. I love all that.
AW taking it as well. It's like, what are you doing that for?
Yeah, that's
what?
That's WWE stuff. Like, that's Fed stuff. Like purple and red weapons for Edge and for Mala. Yeah. And
God, it's so stupid.
when the brand had the tables marked out for the individual members, like that's Fed. That's why the recognized symbol of excellence. Joshua said something and it happened. I love my son, and he said, "This is how the Fed wins." He goes, "Will Big Jim get a table?" And do you think instead of Slim Jim, it'll say Big Jim? I was like, "I love you and I love this business."
Say what? He can come on the podcast with ideas like that.
In that order?
And he did get the table.
In that order?
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brock comes out, suplexes everybody, F5s everybody.
I will say, just a quick thing. I was watching was it Manu Palace yesterday, right, in one room. And Charlotte was just doing whatever. A monitor, she's old enough to she can play by herself. So she came in, she got like she loves crafting and stuff. Even if it's as simple as like she'll make her own diary and whatever. It's called Shaw's Notes. Open the page. And she wrote Dad's sections. Like, write down loads of things that you like. Got a pen. I went, right, coffee. I went, oh God, in no order. Family. And then I wrote this romantic feel. If it was love, I would have put family first. But because you wrote like, I was like, coffee, obviously. Oh,
You need to be specific, Charlotte.
family, holidays, all the stuff I get told off if I don't put down. Yeah, Twin Peaks and stuff like that. I wrote 2% of wrestling. NUFC, coffee, family, holidays, cocktails, sour beer, 2% of wrestling.
Oh God,
etc.
How old Charlotte again?
7.
7.
Sidge has permitted me this today because we both agreed today that we were just very joyously in Win World over the weekend. But when we were 2-0 down, I basically made a deal with the devil being Ronald McDonald. I was like, well, if we get a point, I'll buy us a McDonald's. And then we won 3-2, so I had to stick McFlurries on. I was like 45 quid down by the end of the day. I didn't care because I was in Win World.
Win World
Money
rules.
doesn't exist in Win World, but the next day I was like, Jesus Christ.
Christmas next month.
I know, that's it, yeah. You can't get a Mac because it's close to Christmas.
Yeah, for a present, they just get the receipt from the. Remember the Mackies I bought you?
Yeah, remember how magic that Saturday was? You really need to hold on to that. You're old enough to understand that these moments matter. I can't rap it, can I?
So Roman Reigns enters last, and Brock walks out of the cage to meet him on the entrance ramp, and they brawl. Reigns hits him with Superman punches, but as he goes for the final one, Lesnar ducks and F5s him through the announce table, drags him back into the ring, another F5. Cody breaks up the cover. Punk hits Lesnar with a GTS. There's a crossroads, but Logan Paul breaks up the cover with a frog splash. Heyman hands Logan brass knucks, and Logan chins Punk and Jimmy. But Reigns drops him with a spear, and then Reigns put on the brass knucks. And I was like, a Superman punch, but with brass knucks on. That's amazing. Drops Reed and Drew. Breaker spears Roman Reigns. Lesnar picks up Jay into an F5. Sorry. Breaker face off with Reigns, and Reigns speared him, I should say. Lesnar gets Jay up in the F5 position, and Reigns spears both of them effectively through a table. Punk fights off Bron Breaker, hits a GTS on Logan, but Bron breaks it up. And then suddenly, a mystery man arrives. Don't know who it is. Check out the...
It's Austin Theory.
Check out the Raw preview for more on that.
The scoop.
Hits Punk with a super kick and a curb stomp. Crowd are popping at this. And then Bron Breakker spears CM Punk and pins the World Heavyweight Champion to win the match for his team. Just very quickly, before I hand it over to you two. Post-match, the babyfaces are commiserating as the heels celebrate as they walk out. Reigns helps Punk to his feet. They bump fists. Looks at Cody. Maybe thinks about helping him, doesn't. Cody gets up of his own power. And Reigns walks off saying that this is the last time they will team together.
I thought that was fantastic. I was really into that. Again, we talked for years, plural at this point. I've said it for years, going back to when they were in AEW together. Cody Punk, to me, is the biggest match in wrestling. It's the match I want to see. Every tease of it has been exhilarating. Like the Rumble, the promos, seeing them together as partners whenever they've revisited that as well. It's one of the biggest takeaways from this decade, realistically. And then stars are stars, and I just looked upon the prospect of I thought of you, because when you always say it's an insult when you put a number against a match that doesn't deserve a number, like when there's been
like Roman numerals and stuff.
Cody Roman 3 is a match that deserves a
number.
number.
Well, yeah.
2 WrestleManias, one's a piece. One guy became an even bigger star through getting most unlikely wins at 39. One guy became the leader of the company and top babyface in the entire industry. Massive. It felt massive to me seeing these two together, and I hadn't really even considered it before this match. I was in that state of not really understanding where Roman Reigns fit into any of WWE anymore, and all of a sudden I was like, well, that's all right, I buy that. And then you see Punk sort of stand up in the middle, and Cody looks at Punk and he does the you got me, and it's almost like Punk trivializing the drama to try and make peace is not a part of it. And I'm thinking, right, singles match, but yeah, huge, love it. But then I also then thought, but he is in the picture. So if anyone would try and now play a few games to try and get himself in the mix to make it a triple threat,
triple threats don't work at WrestleMania, mate. I mean, other than, this year 3 times across WrestleMania weekend. What I was told about it.
Anyway. Yeah, I think I want to look at it if it's triple threat as well. So,
me too.
Yeah. But they had for me something here that they did not have on that Raw.
I can't.
What?
Doing what?
Why not? We reviewed that Raw, and I said that didn't come anywhere close to feeling as important as it should have done. The 3 of them in the ring, They had nothing really to say. They had to pretend reasons to not get along for the benefit of WarGames. Now the reason exists. I wish they'd never bothered putting the three of them in the ring, and losing the match was what created this sense of tension, because it showed where Roman and Punk have come in the last 12 months, and it showed that Roman and Cody are now, it's off the table. I wish they'd never put them together on Raw and just not touched it, and it was in the WarGames itself, because that would have given this match way more heft. If you saw relations breaking down across this match, the Usos are fine, everything's cool. Roman and Jay had that nice moment where it's like, all right, yeah, go and do this. Like, you know, when they were setting up by the table, that kind of like sorts out, that squares away the I don't want to see till Christmas. They can still, you know, they're family. The tension between these three could have been built kind of out of nowhere in the cage itself, and I would have much preferred that to almost telegraphing it and forecasting it on Raw, because it just felt big time. Stars, this is what our business is all about. The three massive stars. You're now beginning the road to WrestleMania. You've seen possible and probable main events here. Loved all that. Same complaints with the first one, to be honest. In as much as I admired real elements of the finish and the commitment to Bron Breakker and the idea of setting up WrestleMania main events and all that, there was just nowhere near enough actual action in the main body of the match to give this a pass. Again, I've defended Jey Uso yeeting in the middle of it. I like the idea of giving you the visual of what should have been a blood-soaked CM Punk and Drew, and there were things that could have worked that didn't, but put more in there to ensure that if one falls down, it's okay because you've got six more. They lazily agented and produced. Like, I like the entrances, but they were wholly reliant on them. And one more thing, because the Nikki Bella conversation put this in my mind, those same people that just don't receive her as anything because they've arrived in the last couple of years, dread it, run from it. I think they are really excited by the prospect of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns because it's new to them and I never want to see it again in my life. But they really came up for that on Raw, and then in this match, that brawl on the outside, I was feeling nothing. I never want to see these two interact.
It's ridiculous.
Ever again. But loads of these fans seem to bang up for it. So, God, what? Like, can they do some tape study and see some absolute diabolical work dating back years between them? Because it just gave me the dreads immediately. Like, it gave me the dreads in the same way that Brock returned and full stopped it. Because I was like, oh, great, it's Vince McMahon's favourite thing. You know, them two. Ugh. Like, but fans came up for that more than almost everything else in this match. Not good.
You know what I'm going to say? Like, no intensity, just a series of moments barely strung together. So many periods of like, get on with it, get on with it, get on with it. Oh, God, Jimmy Uso is in a match and it doesn't matter yet. Kill me now. I disagree with you on Roman Cody. You know, and long-time listeners, come viewers will know that WrestleMania 39 Night 2 main event was hypnotic. I thought it was fantastic. So I do love their chemistry. But when they're both kind of playing these baby faces who are paranoid over their spot and narrowing their eyes and who deserves to lead it, I think I hate all this theme of WrestleMania 42 being with the top stars, but hey, got to play some really clever games to have really huge cocks to stay at this table. You know, I just don't like it. Well, what's the personal issue?
This table's got a minimum inch of 12.
Yeah, of 12. Oh, well, oh, God, it's good for me because I've got 18. So, yeah, I just don't like the way they're carrying on these. I would like one of Punk, Cody, and Roman. One of them turn heel.
Cody Rhodes was what I was thinking during
Yes.
I want one of them to turn heel. The match itself was, and like Triple H's weird fixation with hooded figures just continues unabated. I must leave in 10 minutes. So
I bid you a good night.
well, not yet, because what I want, I don't know why I'm Santino Morella now. I do not know why that just happened. However, I feel like some fine folks have paid some hard-earned cash to ask some questions, so I better contribute to some of these answers before I depart.
Hi to Eric Vasquez.
Eric.
Great first name in the chat. Who says, was it No Way Jose that entered the Rumble, did his Congo line in and out, and then ran into Drew exiting?
That sounds about right, yeah.
I was thinking about No Way Jose at the weekend.
Why?
Just, I think either maybe it was a show me and Anna Louise were watching, or someone said the phrase No Way Jose, and I was like, memories.
No way, Jose. Wasn't even a catchphrase, it was a name.
It's
I was
just
like,
there,
you got anything else?
That was it, wasn't it? I was like I was talking to her about it, and I was like, didn't really do anything. He just sort of did a conga line, politely lost in a few minutes, and then left again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was what a time it was.
That was
No, it
your
wasn't a
bucket
time.
list though for a while, wasn't it, Wilbourn? Getting that conga
Yeah,
line.
be in the conga line.
that
Yeah,
was-
maybe one day. Eric also said, by the way, hope everyone's well. I 100% bought the Dom injury at first. Loved that. An EO with the Binton bomb.
Yeah.
Liv returns. That Survivor Series War Game sorted then. Yeah. Basically summarising the fact that not a lot else
No,
really
it was crap
happened.
and it was dumb. But I hope you're very well too.
Yes. John Catter says, just curious, as I didn't see it covered on the news, what did you guys think about West Side Gun being kicked out of Raw? Petty or reasonable? I don't really know a lot about this, to be perfectly honest.
I don't
I
know.
didn't know. Kicked out a Raw.
Or, as far as I recall, it's a free country. So it's a free country.
Yeah.
Crispy's Crafts says, greetings, gents.
Is that, sorry. Is
I'll
that,
look
is
it
that
up.
an AW thing, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know.
He's done stuff with them, hasn't he?
Yeah, but what is this?
Yeah, yeah. Aye.
What is this, a dictatorship? Our colours didn't run.
West Side Gun complains he spent $5,000 on a seat and then was kicked out of Real for no reason. For years, I mean, nobody with 2 feet has spent the amount of money I have supporting and pushing a brand I've loved since I can remember. I sat front row at every big show. I've watched the same company sit countless of people next to me who's not even fans and act like I didn't exist. I was threatened to take everything out of my music. Oh, okay, yes, I think he's used music.
He's been putting the big billboards up in Times Square with like Virgil and Sid and people like that on. Because he loves wrestling, but I don't know how it's tied to getting booted out of a show.
No, if they want
So I'll lean petty, probably.
if they want to pursue action against him, they could do that and let him pay for his ticket if he's not disturbing anyone
Sounds
concurrently.
like a bit of a poor do that.
So I don't really know. Sorry.
So yeah, Crispy's Craft says, greetings, gents. The Bella heel turn pointless?
Yeah, completely pointless. She's miscast. They haven't really given her any equity with any wins. She cannot really carry off being this dominant in-ring heel. So she was doing a lot of, I'm great, and I'm teaching her a lesson, this young kid. Maybe she should instead rethink how to play a heel and do a more chicken stooge. And maybe she would be better off doing what Becky Lynch is doing.
She could probably give somebody the rub, but not like this.
Yeah. It's not working at all. Not at all, not one bit.
Chief of Staff for Chelsea Green.
You are
Bigger
building
than
quite
Don
an army
Callis
with
family,
this,
you know what I mean?
I'm just throwing names out there, guys. Matt Reigns. It's in the chat. Happy Monday, brothers. For my personal taste, I was reminded why I stopped watching at SummerSlam. Dom Cena was fun. The winner of the night was TK. He knew what he was doing, putting blood and guts first.
Correct.
Have a great day, guys. First bestie derby of the season, Wednesday.
Yeah, old Isaac sure got his goal in time, didn't he?
I no word of a lie. I've shown people a screenshot. I texted my uni mates group chat. About 20 minutes into the game, Isaac breaks his duck today. He actually looked like he's taking up jogging in his spare time. Like he just looked like,
He's had plenty of spare time.
But I actually watched him move, make a few runs, get into like dangerous positions. He had one like really gilt-edged chance as well. Great save from the keeper. And I was like, oh, he looks a little bit like Alex Isak in this game, and it's only West Ham.
Maybe we had a psychic moment at the weekend, Sidge.
Oh, aye.
I was hoovering my house while this was happening. And I had the exact same moment where I was like, today's the day.
Yeah,
I could
today's
just
the day
tell
scoring.
Salah out the squad.
Aye.
Today's the day.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
looked sharper as well, didn't
Did,
he?
yeah, definitely.
Question: would you bring Isaac into your fantasy team for this Wednesday?
No. No, I don't play FPL as it's meant to be played. I play it as an extension of my hedge betting life philosophy.
Okay.
Therefore, I will be putting 3 Spurs players in on Tuesday.
Stephen X says, "G'day, handsome gents.
Hello.
Who was
Good day.
Who was the fake Seth? Wrong answers only.
Chris Jericho, because this one could move.
I think clearly the most obvious person is Miss Rachel. Who else can move like that? It's quite the shout.
Oh yeah. Who's been a good like parkour adjacent wrestler over the years?
Lexus
Johnny
King.
TV.
Johnny TV, Lexus King.
Getting out there.
Yeah, let's have a Lexus King. He could join the Vision.
Tony D.
He has.
Oh my God, what if it's Tony D?
It's not Tony D. He can't move that well.
Didn't have a hat on, to be fair.
Yeah, that's because he's trying to
Imagine
disguise
that.
himself.
He's completely masquerading up, but he's got his hat on. Wait a second.
The secret figure is eating. He's
That would actually be class.
eating some ziti. Who could it be? Find out on Monday Night Raw on Netflix.
Gabagool around his mouth. Wait a minute.
Still be those accounts on X, wouldn't they? Thing you didn't notice from Survivor Series. It's like when people, someone in the chat, I think it was Mimi actually, was saying there was some accounts on X being like, check out this transformation from Liv Morgan. A bit like the Blake Monroe one. Not sure if you caught this. We did. Everyone saw it. It was on camera. Hi to Santino Quozo, I'll go with. Sorry if I'm late to the pie.
Can I do an accent? Or?
No. Sorry if I'm late to the pie, but glad I finally caught you guys live. Your podcasts get me through many days at work, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Santino.
Hey, it's me doing Wilbourn doing Santino Morella. Not awesome. That's class. Thank you.
Hi to Cameron Luxton, who says, I almost thought open challenge when Dom went out, which would be interesting, wouldn't it? And a big W for the Newey Jets this weekend, Newcastle Jets. Guess Cameron's in Newcastle, Australia.
Not the other
On
one.
the east side.
The other side. I don't know. Is that anything?
On what side?
The other side.
The Judgment G'day.
Yes. Yes.
Who's that guy? Never met him before.
I don't know. Nice to meet you. Have to see you again.
Is he excited about pain in an Australian accent?
I certainly is. Yes.
How is it that when you do, it's like it's the closest you've done to a Cockney accent ever, while trying to do Australian.
I've got no problem doing Cockney. It's down under I struggle with.
Matt Rains writes, Sidge, over the weekend, NASCAR was paying tribute to those recently departed. The chants of thank you, Jish, were deafening.
Jish. Say what you will about Jish. He's always on the money.
And finally, hi to the wonderful Kaz, who sent me that Geordie book that I keep meaning to bring on the podcast. I'll bring it on tomorrow. It says, afternoon, lads. I assume you're now fluent in Geordie, Adam. What are the chances Gunther retires Cena, Brock, and Jericho next year? Maybe AJ as well. I like that, just a run of retiring people.
It's a nice bit. And Triple H loves him some of that with Gunther as well. Just like the I say heat. I think people are more all right with it when they know it's coming, don't they, with like John Cena. But yeah, that's not the daftest idea. I think the Brock Lesnar thing is just wishful thinking. I too wish that... Sidgwick.
I like that because... 2 seconds.
Oh, it's over there. I didn't realise.
Piece of trash. What I like about that is it bravely asks a question. What if Randy Orton was good? And now, like a real legend killer retiring people, because the idea of Randy Orton was always good. It's just the execution it never was. So a good Randy Orton, let it play out.
So you're saying execution is a mystery. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Nice bit of business.
You like that?
Yes.
Yes.
I desperately want to stick around and hear more from this character, but unfortunately we have to wrap it up there.
Is there any more questions?
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Bit of everything.
Is that it?
Mr. Smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Mr. Smog. What was you doing, sorry?
Yes.
Mr. Smorgasbord's catchphrase.
Yes. Mr. Smorgasbord.
What was that?
He's just here for a good time.
Mr. Smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Chanting a WrestleMania 30.
Oh, you had a great time. Yes. Yes. Yeesh! Yeesh!
What's the opposite of no, Mr. Smorgasbord?
No!
Bye, Mr. Smorgasbord.
See you tomorrow! I don't know, man. I'll bring it back tomorrow, but he might not last forever. We gotta catch
I'm
the pod.
sorry, Matt Steele. He said he'd wrapped up the list of bits, but unfortunately, in that case, it's going to be reopened.
But that bit party is just next level now. It's Smorgasbord turned up.
The door down.
Come on, I've got to go.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't have to go, but I would like to go.
Stand and deliver, oi, bumping into Mr. Smorgasbord.
Right, this has been the... What are we doing? Oh, yeah, Survivor Series, WarGames review. Let us know your thoughts in the comments or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Let us know your thoughts on Mr. Smorgasbord. Most importantly. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
Michael Hamflett on Cameo or hamflettx@gmail.com.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at...
Sidgwick.
Follow our brilliant producer Adam Nicholas at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
And follow me at Adam Wilbourn. How long before there's a Mr. Smorgasbord Twitter account, by the way, that just tweets yes. Anyway, this has been the Survivor Series WarGames review. My thanks to Hamflett, to Sidgwick, to you guys in the chat, to Mr. Smorgasbord. We'll see you soon. Bye.